Okay guys, so in the previous video, we designed this basic UI. Now let's add the logic here. So first let's remove these blue lines, these blue curvy lines coming by adding the constant keyword. Okay, let's save this. And now I will give this container, the yellow container, because that's where we want our text to be displayed. I will give it a child and give it a text. Okay, let's go with text and let's write here hello. And I can remove this color now. And I will also give this a styling. Let's give style of text style. Okay. And let's give colors dot white. Let's save this file and you can see that hello is appearing. Now what we want to do is whenever we press any of these widgets, let's say whenever I press one should be displayed here, right? So to do that, let's first make a variable and let's call it string calc text. Okay, and let's assign it a value. Let's say I write hello here. So this is basic, right? You guys already used this. We can just replace this hello with calc text and let's save this and hello should appear. Okay, right now also we want this hello to start from the rightmost corner, right? So we can give this a main axis alignment. Even though it's on the end, we can just wrap this container with a row itself. So now this is a row inside a container. This is an entire container which has two blocks, this hello and this big one. And now hello is also wrapped inside a container, and what we can do is just give it main axis align or void main axis alignment and main axis alignment dot center. So now I did center, I have to do it end. Okay, so now it will start from the end itself. So right now it's showing me this error that size box for white spaces. This is because container can be replaced with size box when not using the color properties or the decoration properties, because size box does not have a property called color or anything. It is basically invisible, size box, and it is used to assign heights. So now we have this hello here, and quickly let me add a size box here also. Size box. Let's add a comma at the end and give it a width of 20. So I added size box in front of hello. I had to add it at the end. Okay, so let me add size box here. Now let's save this. So you can see that there is some sort of padding here. I could have also wrapped it with padding widget and give padding dot only and give the right padding. But I did this to show you guys how you can use size box. Now let's give a constant here. Save it. So we also want to increase the size of this text. So let's increase the font size and let's make it 30. Okay. And now also add constant keyword here. Now guys, one thing you need to note. If I write a really long text here, let's say I add some gibberish, and now if I save the file, and now you can see that this render overflow error is coming. Let me show you the error real quick. This is a render flex overflowed by 93 pixels. And what this render overflow basically means is that your text is going outside of the screen. A screen has a fixed value, right? And your text is going outside of the screen. So now you can see that this error render overflow is coming. And you can see that when I expand the window, you can see that overflowed by 93 pixels on the right. So this basically says that your screen only has this much area and it's crossing this area, so it's going out of the screen. So that is why it's not able to render. So to avoid that, what we can do is just wrap this row with a widget, and that widget is called single child scroll view, and this will basically help you to scroll left and right. So by default the scroll direction is vertical, so this helps us go up and down, and we want to make it horizontal. So to do that, we can do scroll direction and axis dot horizontal. Okay, let's save this. And now you can see that the error is gone and we can easily scroll. So let me remove this gibberish here and let's make it an empty string for now. Okay. You can also clear your debug console by pressing this icon so that it's less messy. So right now we want to make these containers clickable, right? So to do that, what you can do is wrap this padding in a widget which is called gesture detector. And what gesture detector lets you do is make anything clickable. So gesture detector has a property called on tap. Like a normal button which has an on press property, a gesture detector has an on tap property. They both are similar. So on tap, I can basically do print, and let's print the text. Okay, let's print the text itself, which we are taking. Let me save it. And now you will see that whenever I click on 1, I can see 1. When I click on 2, I can see 2. I can click on 3 and I can see 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What here is 0 point equals to I plus, and whatever the heck I want, I can basically do here. So now we want, whenever we click on 1 appears here. Right now this gibberish is still coming because I need to reload my application. So let's reload it. Okay. And now what I want to do is, I want to change this empty string to the string which I entered. So to do that, we can use set state, and we can say that the empty string, which was calc text, equals to calc text plus the text that we are pressing right now. And let's save this. And now let's see what happens. 1 is coming. Okay. Now let's give 2, 3, plus 6, 5, 7, 4. But right now if I press equals to, it will give me an equals to and we don't want to do that. So, and plus if I press CC, AC, nothing is happening. So let's see how can we give these proper functionalities. Now because this is a magic calculator, we will not add all these functions, right? We only want to display the birth date. So let's see how can we do that. So to do that, first we want the AC button to work so that if you by mistake enter a wrong text, you can just clear the entire thing. Let's add if else here, okay? Let's add if else. If text equal to AC, right? I want to do set state and I want to basically empty the string. So I want to now empty the string and I can just give it an empty string value. So now let's save it, and you can see that now the string is being emptied. And this is happening because set state is also mentioned here. So I can basically wrap that in else. And now let's cut this piece, the set state function, cut, and let's paste it here. Now let's save it. And if I press AC, you can see that the text was gone. Now let's add equals to functionality also. Okay. Let's go here, press enter. If text equals to. So the basic logic of our magic calculator is that first we will add the date of birth. So first we can just ask our friends for the date of birth. If we know their date of birth, then we can just simply enter the date of birth and press equals to. Okay. And then the color of this equals to should change. And then what will happen is, I can write something. I can write different text plus equals to, different these things, and then multiply. And whenever I press equals to again, the color will change back to red and this text will be erased and the birthday that we stored earlier should be printed here. So how to do that? So in the if text equals to, I know that this might sound a little bit confusing, but let's code first and you guys will get a clear idea of what I'm trying to say here. So let's make another variable first. Let's declare a variable by the name int count equals to 1. Okay, let's give it 0 by default, right? And add a semicolon. Let me save the file. So now inside this nested loop, make sure that you have else if written here, not just if, okay? Because we need to write else if, as it is a part of this if loop only, the first loop only, okay? So now inside this else if, what we want to do is we want to store a value. So first we will write the date of birth. Let's say I was born on 27th August, okay? So I will write 2708 because August is 08, and then I will press equals to. So the moment I press equals to, the value is saved and the text empties again. Now, and to tell us that the value is saved, the color of the equals to sign changes. Now, when I will press equals to again, it should give me the date of birth. Now, what do I mean by that? So don't worry guys, I will tell you. First, define a string, another string by the name string dob equals to this. You can make it an empty string. Okay. And now what you want to do is inside this else if, make a nested loop. Now what is a nested loop? A nested loop is a loop inside a loop. So what this means is that add if count equal to 0, we want to say that set state, okay, and we want to say that now dob equals to calc text. I will explain to you guys what this means. Just add count equals to count plus 1. Either you can write this statement or you can write count plus equals to 1. They both are similar, okay? So remove one of them. And finally, you want to empty the calc text again. Now pause the video here and try to understand what just happened. If you guys did not understand, let me explain you. So what happened is, first I will write my date of birth. Okay, let's say I write 2708. By default, the count is 0. Okay, so if I press the equals to button, which means that this loop will activate and it will check if the count is 0. If count is 0, it will assign that empty string dob the value which I have currently written. So the value will be saved here in this empty string, and then it will increase the count by 1. So that next time when I click again equals to, it does not again come back to this loop. So this will increase the count by 1 and make the calc empty. So let's save this. So let's hot restart our application. And also let's add a condition here. So let's do this. When count equals to 0, okay, I want to give it a red color. Otherwise I want to give colors dot blue. So what this statement basically means is that it is a simplified if else statement. It says that if count is 0, which means that if this condition is true, then give color red. Otherwise, if the condition is false, give color blue. So right now it's giving us color red because initially the count is 0. Okay. Now I will add my date of birth 2708 here. And the moment I press equals to, this will turn blue. This means that our count is now increased and dob has the value. Now let's add an else in this if statement where the count is mentioned. Let's add an else. Let's do set state. And now we will change the value of calc text to the value that we stored dob. And the moment I press equals to again, this will show me the date of birth. And let's also decrease the count now, so that we do not get this blue color again. So to decrease it, we can just write count minus equals to 1. And this basically means count equals to count minus 1. Okay. Now let's hot restart our application. And let me show you how the application will work. Let it reload first. Okay. So now the application is reloaded. So now let's say I ask my friend that what is his date of birth. Okay. And I know that he was born on 27th August 08. So I already write this and I press equals to. Now his value is stored. Now his date of birth is stored. Okay. So now I will ask him to, let's say, give me a 3-digit number. So he says 656 and I will add that. Now I will say, let's give me a 4-digit number. So he will say 9876 and I will divide it. And then I will add a 21 and I will ask another number from him. And finally, what I will do is I will press equals to. So this equals to is telling me that the dob is stored. So the moment I press equals to, his date of birth appears. So this is basically the trick to make this magic calculator. I hope you guys understood it. If you still have some doubts, you can reach out to me or you can ask the question down below. I would highly recommend you to again see the entire part where I explain this loop, because it will be a lot helpful. I hope that you understood this statement, which is count equals to true, which basically tells you that if this is true, if this condition is true, perform this task, otherwise perform this task. And just like that, we made our magic calculator. So now let's see the last video of this course, which is what's next, where to go from here.